Today we're doing a full restoration on a heavily oxidized 32-foot Sea Ray. You can see this is very, very scratched up, and now we're gonna start building up that surface until it looks showroom. Now that the 800 grit is completed, we're gonna get started with our 1000 grit. Now we're gonna be doing wet sanding. Now you don't need too much water, just a little bit of soapy water. Spray a little bit into your pad, a little bit on the surface. That's gonna help keep any of those deeper scratches a little bit more uniform. That way when we come in with a compound, it's a lot easier to remove all of those deep sanding scratches. Now that 1000's finished, we're gonna get started with 2000, same exact process. So now that all the sanding is done proper, if you look up a little closer, you can see there's almost no sign of any pigtails in there. Now this compound is going to rehydrate and bring back that surface for a showroom quality. This is a 600 to 800 grit compound that we're gonna be using. Now we did finish with 2000 grit sandpaper. I'm sure you're wondering why we didn't start with a 2000 grit compound or finish off with 800 grit sandpaper. You can get the surface almost perfect, but building up the sanding steps makes a true perfect clarity after all the compounding. Now that we have a lot more of that clarity back on, we're going to be using a rotary again with a medium cutting wool pad. We're going to be using a 1200 grit compound. This is going to help remove more of those holograms, so when we come in with a DA, it comes into a brand new perfect surface. Now that we're all finished up with the rotary, you can see this surface has a beautiful shine on it, but it does still have some holograms in there. So now we're gonna be coming in with a DA with a hybrid foam and wool pad. This is still gonna be heavy cutting, and it's gonna help keep down all those holograms. This is going to be a 1500 grit compound that I'm using. So every step is not always exactly one step. Sometimes it does take a little bit more work and a couple passes to actually make these steps perfect. So I went over 3 times. There are still some deeper holograms in there. So I'm gonna go over it one more time, same exact process to try and melt those down a little bit more. So all the holograms are essentially gone. Now we're gonna build up the surface a little bit more, bring back a little bit more clarity with a 1700 grit compound. So now that this surface is perfect, we're going to be coming in with a SiO2 polish. This is going to help fill in any more of those pores that are left over on the vessel. That way when we come in with either a ceramic or a polymer coating, it's going to bond much better and have a little bit more longevity for the coating. This is going to be as perfect as you can get for a painted surface. Now if you wanted to keep it that way, we're going to be coming in with a professional grade polymer coating using a microfiber pad with a DA. Keep it protected for the rest of the season. This is a first-time client for us. He's been getting just a wash and wax. He's had the boat for about 10 years or so. So he never thought it would be this much work in order for it to go back to a perfect process looking like this. But the thing is, with oxidation, if it's not fully removed, a single step will look much, much better throughout this entire surface, or even a 4-step correction. However, the only way to fully remove all the oxidation on this vessel is with a sanding process. Not even our 400 to 600 grit compound was able to cut off all this oxidation. So we came in, fully removed all the oxidation. Now he's gonna have it protected. That way, if he keeps up with his maintenance, he's never gonna have to go through any type of process like this anymore. Have a lot more fun on the water. If you wanna get your boat done the right way, call Matt Sips today. We'll see you then.